Okay, so now we're going to try some mental math. 7 times 8. Please memorize 7 times 7 is 49. Memorize all your times tables. 5, 5, 25, 6, 6, 36, 7, 7, 49. And if you add 7 more, 7 times 8 is 56. So even though you can memorize this directly, if you learn how to memorize certain key numbers, you can always add to double check and verify your answer is correct. Okay, so 25 times 25. This one here, most people do not memorize, but I'm going to show you how to do this in your head. So first of all, let's try the old slow way. 25 times 25. We're going to do lasers. Choo! 5 times 5 is 25. Put the second digit down there. I recommend use your fingers because we're holding in our head 25, 2, 5, 25. And then you laser across this way. So you went this way, now we go this way. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 more is going to be 12. Now we're going to laser this way and then this way. So 2 times 5 is 10. You put the second digit down here, make sure everything is nice and aligned. And when we said 10, don't forget the first digit, which is a 1. Now we're going to laser this way. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more is going to be 5. Cha-ching, we're going to add these up here. 5 plus nothing is 5. 2 plus 0 is going to be 2. And 1 plus 5 is going to be 6. So the answer to 25 times 25 is 625. Now let's try the fast way. Whenever you have something times itself and it ends with a 5, there's a trick. 25 times 25, it ends with a 5. It's like 25 squared. This is the same thing as 25 squared. Same thing. And the trick is to look at the first number, the first digit. The first digit is a 2. So it's going to be 2 times the number higher than 2. So the integer that's higher than 2 is 3. And so the answer is 6. And the answer always ends with 25. So the answer is 625. So again, you look at the first digit, which is a 2, and mentally in your head, all you have to do is multiply by the number higher than 2, which is a 3. So 2 times 3 is 6. And whenever you have a 5 and a 5 at the end being multiplied, it's going to be 25. That's how it always ends. 5 times 5 is 25. So let's practice it over here. 85 times 85 is the same thing as 85 squared. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 8, the number 8, times the number higher than it. So what's 8 times 9? 8 times 9, the number higher than 8, is going to be 72. So this is the number that we're going to be working with. So the answer is 72, and it ends with what? There's a 5 here, there's a 5 here, it ends with 25. So 85 times 85, you can do in your head, is 7,225. Very impressive. Now let's try 105 squared. Surprisingly, this pattern continues on even for bigger numbers that are beyond 2 digits. So what's the front part that we're working on? 10. In your head, what's 10 times 11? 10 times the number higher than it, which is 11. And you can just add a 0 here to 11, which is going to be equals to 110. And what does it end with? It ends with 25, always. So the answer is 11,025. Okay, let's continue on here. I'm going to show you a new mental math trick. So we know how to do lasers, the plain old way. I'll just do this a bit faster. 13 times 12. Choo! 3 times 2 is 6. Choo! 2 times 1 is 2. Choo! 1 times 3 is 3. Choo! 1 times 1 is 1. Cha-ching! We're going to add all these up. 6, 5, 1. So this is not very hard. We didn't have to deal with very big numbers. So 13 times 12 is 156, but I challenge you to practice this, to do this in your head. So what's 13 times 12? How do we do this in our head? My advice to you is to memorize up to 20 times 20. So most students in high school do memorize up to 10 times 10. But the challenge is to be able to use mental math to go up to 20 times 20. So 20 times 20 is pretty easy. The answer is 400. But if you can do stuff like this, 13 times 12 in your head, that'd be very impressive and very useful, because most numbers are quite low, at least for school. So let's try this. What we're going to do is we're going to take the bigger number, which is a 13. And what we're going to do is we're going to add the last digit. And the last digit is a 2 of the other number. So my question for you is, what is the bigger number, 13, plus 2? So this trick only works up to 20 times 20. So but it's gonna be good. 13 plus 2 is 15. So in your head, right away, just add a 0. This is just a trick. So 13 times 12 is not quite 150, but we're getting close. We're almost there. All we have to do to get the final answer is to add the last digit times the last digit. So we need to add 3 times 2. And 3 times 2 would be 6. So in your head, we can practice this until we're pretty fast at it. So 150 plus 6 is 156, and that's the answer. Didn't seem very fast because you're so used to this way, but eventually if you practice this, we're going to get pretty fast. Let's try the trick with 11 times 14. So the bigger number is 14. You can see it's on the right here. And what we're going to do in our head is we're going to add the 1 here of the second digit of the other number, which is going to be a 1. So 14 plus 1 is going to be 15. Very quickly, like a script, like a combo, is add a 0, 150. So 150, 150. Mentally in your head, 14 plus 1 is 15, 150. So in your head, it's going to be 150. Plus what? It's going to be the last digit times the last digit. 4 times 1 is going to be 4. So in your head, we can do this pretty fast. The answer is 154. 154. So let's keep practicing. It gets a bit harder with the bigger numbers, but we can still do it within a reasonable period of time. What's 15 times 16? So I recommend getting the bigger number, which is 16, and we're going to add a 5. 16 plus 5, you can do it in your head, is going to be 21. So right now we're going to write 21, 210, but hopefully you can do 210 in your head. I know it's much easier if you write it down, but we're going to practice doing this in our head. 16 plus 5 is going to be 21, 210. So 210 plus what? So this is a challenge. You might even want to try closing your eyes and practicing this. So 210 plus the last digit multiplied by the last digit. 5 times 6, and this only works if you memorize your times tables, at least up to 10 times 10. 5 times 6 is going to be 30. So in your head, 210 plus 30, you might have to repeat it a few times. 210 plus 30, 210 plus 30 is going to be 240. And that's the final answer. Okay, so we're going to start sweating now. These numbers get a bit harder, but let's try. So in your head, the bigger number, 19, plus the second digit, 7, is going to be 26. So out loud in your head, keep repeating. You might get a bit dizzy, but 260, we're just adding that 0 at the end there. 19 plus 7 is 26. 260, 260, 260. 260 plus what? 9 times 7, and you have to memorize your times tables. If you haven't done that, you might want to begin with that first. 9 times 7 is 63. So keep saying out loud. 260 plus 63, obviously if you add up and down, you can do this much easier. But in your head, what is 260 plus 63? It's going to be 323. So practice this. It's a great trick to get fast. And I'm going to show you a website in a sec how to practice these really quickly. You really have to practice this on a regular basis to get the hang of it. Okay, last one here. Let's just finish this one off first. How do you do these questions? You could do lasers, which would be silly. I'm going to be a bit silly here and try 300 times 20 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 0 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 3 times 2 is 6. Cha-ching! 0, 0, 0, 6. So the answer is 6,000. That was very slow and efficient. Please don't do that. Use mental math. To do mental math when you have a bunch of zeros is to really focus on the digits that are not 0. 2 times 3 is 6, and all we have to do is count the number of zeros. There's going to be 1, 2, 3 zeros. So you just put these 3 zeros here. So the answer is 6,000. So let me just load up a website that you can practice this mental math, at least practicing up to 20 times 20. Okay, to wrap up this video, we're just going to go to this website. It's called arithmeticzamatic.com. Okay, I should change the screen resolution there. arithmeticzamatic.com. You can just Google this and you'll find this arithmetic game. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to really focus on multiplication. And I challenge you to set it. You can practice your times tables up to 10 times 10, or right now we're really focusing on 10 to 20 multiplied by 10 to 20. And you can play with the settings here, but let's just try it 1 or 2 together. Let's click on Start. On your marks, get set, go. So let's practice using that one trick that we learned. 14 times 14. We only have 110 seconds left. We have 0 points, but let's try our best. 14 plus 4 is going to be 18. So in my head, I'm saying out loud 180. 180, 180, 180. Keep repeating it. I'm not writing anything down right now. I'm trying to do this in my head. 180 plus 4 times 4, which is 16. 180 plus 16 is 196. 196. And press enter. You didn't even have to press enter. It did it for you. So let's celebrate by doing this one more time. The bigger number, 15, plus 4 is 19. So in my head, I'm saying 190. 190 plus 4 times 5 is 20. So say it out loud. 190 plus 20. 190 plus 20 is going to be 210. So 210. Boom. And now we're getting some points. We're getting better at this. And this takes practice. Good job.